Hey guys, hi YouTube. So today I'm coming at you guys with a topic that's a little bit different, but I've done some other ones before in the older videos, but I wanted to do this again. I got my test and I didn't do so well, so I was thinking maybe I should have some study tips for some people that might help them in any kind of subject you take, or if you're in college. I mean, it's tough, you guys. It's getting perfect scores is hard. But I'm gonna have some tips. Hopefully this is gonna help you. Okay, so here are the study tips. The first one is have a study group and have a good one. Don't have a study group of friends that you know that are not serious about studying. Have a study group. If they are friends, have people that are serious about their work. People that you go to Starbucks with are not going to sit there and talk about relationships or not talk about some of the stuff that's not relevant to what you're trying to study. People that are focused. Have a good study group. That's really going to help you because one thing you might have missed, somebody else might have caught it. So you don't want to be with people that really could care less, people that are going to be ordering lattes and cappuccinos all day and care less about studying, but they're there just to hang out, I guess. I don't know. I just don't get that anyway. So that's really number one on my list. They're not in order anyway. The next thing that can help you is have flashcards. I never used to use flashcards before, but now they're really helpful. And flashcards are really, really great for terms. Like if you have a concept or a term that you really want to get in your head, have it on a flashcard, walk around with it. I was walking in line, I think, with my flashcards and trying to get concepts. And for me, terms are really easy because my brain, I swear you guys, I memorize things like crazy. You tell me a word and I memorize it and I get it the next time. Like it's just that simple. So you do want to have flashcards and carry them around with you in your purse and look at them. And it works because I remember another test I did really well because of that. So use flashcards when you can. The next thing is matching the lecture with the textbook, if you have one. Most of the time, the stuff the teachers covered are somehow covered in the textbook. So if the teacher is talking about photosynthesis, like we're learning, and you're like, I don't get this, go back in the book and see what it says and try to match it somehow, like connect it. How is this different from what she said on the board and how is it in the book, and kind of get it. Sometimes when you read something, it's better for you than hearing it. Some people are all that. They can hear it well, they can read it, they need a picture and all that, the different type of learners that are available. So definitely match your lecture with the book. That's really useful for me. Like I come home and I try to find what the teacher was talking about in the book and reread it. Because sometimes when you take notes, you don't really you get all mixed up and you're like, what the hell was I thinking here and here? So take match your lectures with book. The next one is I'm reading all the questions here. I put notes to remind me. Next one is take notes wisely. And my teacher said something really good about do not write down everything she's saying, but write down what makes sense to you. You don't want to be writing, I saw that, I saw this, she said this, said that. You're going to be all over the place. Try to write down what makes sense to you. If she's giving a definition, she's talking about this and some main points, write that down. Unless they say, well, the test is going to be everything they write down, then that's a different story. But write things that make sense to you where you can kind of talk it out yourself and you know what you're doing. It really helps. So writing them in a way that makes sense to you and take good notes. Because sometimes my notes I'm really the worst note taker, but I'm trying to improve now because I know what I've been doing wrong. So I try to write a little bit better and arrange things it's not perfect. I know some people color code and all this stuff. I don't do all that, but I'm taking better notes than before. So good notes will help you. Use as many outside resources as you can. That could be a study group. That could be Googling. Google can become your best friend, you guys. Um, and asking other people you know who maybe might be teachers, asking friends and family members, anything you can to get outside resources because you will need it. Because sometimes, you ask somebody and they don't know, the teacher didn't really give a good answer. They're not helping. You might want, or some teachers are really mean. So keep that in mind too. So you have to go to somebody else. So anything you can get for outside resources, use it. The next thing is, as a teacher, sometimes they're really nice about this and they can give you a test from a previous class. Ask them if they have it and if they can share it with you. If they can, then you look at it and see what kind of questions are being asked and try to match what you're learning and see how they put that on the test. Sometimes that can help you a lot and you know how the teacher is going to test. So the next time around, you're like, okay, I know how they're going to ask me questions. Let me try to study this way. Um, okay, this one annoys me is when people highlight the whole book. And especially when you buy a used book and you have all those highlighted pages, like that's really annoying, you guys. I can't stand that. Highlight what you think is important. If in a book they're talking about love is defined in 3 different ways, don't just highlight the word love. I highlight what you got out of love. Like, what was that all about? Don't just highlight. Everything's important. No, everything's not important because that really helped me. I'm a really good highlighter. Like the things I usually highlight, the funny thing is when I go back to the back of the book, the summary, I usually find that they're also highlighted in the back. So I'm like, I'm pretty good at that. I don't highlight everything. I highlight what I think I got out of it because that's really the thing. If you're getting something in your head, in your own words, you're kind of getting it. So that's what it's about. Okay. Read several times. I know that's really annoying, reading the book over and over, but sometimes you have to do that because you have to get your mind quiet because there's so much stuff going on. There's so many distractions. So you have to keep your mind kind of back. And the third time around, it might just work. The first time you're like, what the hell did I just read? You have to go back into it and reread. And it works. You will find more information sometimes or something that you missed. So that's really useful. The last one is the first test. I always say, you know what, you could do bad on it, but that's okay because it's your learning test. That's when you learn what you did wrong, what were your mistakes, and see how the teacher, get a feel for how the teacher tests. You know what I mean? Like, um, you will know when you look at the test, you will know what you could have done better, what you did wrong, and like the teacher's flow. Like, how do they put tests in question? Do they test straight from the book, straight from the lecture, or is it both? Or is it something completely out of nowhere? And you're like, what the F did this teacher put on this test? If there's some teachers like that, they'll put stuff that are just so out of what you were learning. Like, you're like, what is this? So you have to pull so hard out of your brain trying to figure out one question. And I hate that. But hey, it happens. So those are just some of my study tips, you guys. Share yours with me because I'm still going to school. So I want to know what are some of the tips that have helped you over time. And, leave a comment and I'll see you guys in the next video.